Okay, I'm going to try out a new toy here. I feel the need to walk through this adjustments process with you. And as you guys have read, a couple accounts, supplies and prepaid insurance, asset accounts, normal debit balances, increase with a debit, decrease with a credit. Every time we purchase or buy supplies, we increase the supplies account. But not once have we ever decreased the supplies account, showing that we have actually consumed or used some of the supplies up. So we need to make that adjustment to have more accurate figures at the end of the fiscal period. Same with prepaid insurance. We may have purchased 6 months worth of insurance coverage, and each month we consume or use up some of that coverage until the end of the 6 months. We have to purchase more insurance coverage. So at the end of each month, we have to adjust prepaid insurance to reflect that we have used some of that coverage. That's what this next process or the next column is on your worksheet as we move from the trial balance to the right. The next columns would be the adjustments. So when we make the adjustments, in your reading, they indicated 4 questions basically. What is the balance, current balance of the account to be adjusted, be it supplies or prepaid insurance? And then the next question is, what should the balance be? Next, what must be done to correct or adjust the balance? And lastly, we'll determine the adjustment that needs to be made. So if we follow that example, and I'm getting this example right from your notes from 6-2. If we follow that example, we have this. So what is the current balance in the supplies account? So the current balance as of the end of the month, let's see, is $620. So what's the current balance? $620. What should the supplies balance be? So after taking inventory, they found out that they have $90 worth of supplies left at the end of the month. So if we subtract the 90, we come up with a difference of $530. So what was the initial balance in supplies? $620. What should it be? Well, we need to adjust it down to 90. Well, in order to adjust it down to 90, this is the amount of our adjustment. We have to adjust the account by $530. So, with that said, we had a beginning balance in the supplies account of $620. How do we decrease the supplies account? Well, to decrease any asset, we would credit the account. Well, we're going to credit the account for the $530 that we've already determined. So we'll credit supplies for $530, and we can't just credit something, we have to debit something else. So we're going to credit supplies for $530, and then we'll debit supplies expense for $530. Now, adjustment A is attached to or goes with adjustment A. In essence, what we've done is we have decreased the supplies account by $530, and we have, in essence, expensed that out, that $530, into the supplies expense account. Okay? 620 minus 530 gives us a new balance in the supplies account of $90. $90 is what accurately reflects what we actually have for supplies on hand. So we plan the adjustments for supplies. How does it look on the worksheet? Well, we go to the supplies line on the worksheet. It shows a 620 debit balance. You brought that from the ledger account. We just planned a $530 credit adjustment. So we will park that $530 in the credit column. We'll put the little letter A to signify this was adjustment A. We had a debit to supplies expense, so in the adjustment debit column to the right of supplies expense, we'll enter the debit of $530, and again, we'll label it with the letter A to know that those two adjustments go together. So that, in essence, is the supplies adjustment. Now, if we do the same thing for prepaid insurance, let me see if I can, whoops, I need to do this, and need to find my prepaid insurance. Where are you? There it is. How's that? So again, we'll look at insurance or prepaid insurance, and we'll go through the same thought process. What is the current balance residing in prepaid insurance? Well, if you look at your trial balance, it's $900. You see that right here, $900. Thus, it's the same right here. Our current balance in prepaid insurance at the end of January is $900. What should it be? Well, after an adjustment, it should be $750. In other words, we've used up some of our coverage. So, what is it? $900. What should it be? It should be $750. How much do we need to adjust the account by? The difference is $150. So, if we plan out the adjustment, we had $900. We need to reduce prepaid insurance. We need to reduce it by $150. So we will credit prepaid insurance for $150. If we credit an account, we have to debit another account. So we will debit or write that $150 off as an insurance expense for the month of January. My debits equal my credits. Life is good. And now we simply enter that into our adjustments column. Because this is our second adjustment, we'll label this B, adjustment B. So for prepaid insurance, our adjustment was a credit of $150. So we'll record it in the credit column adjacent to prepaid insurance at $150. Our insurance expense adjustment was a debit of $150, so we will mark it in the adjustments debit column as a debit to $150. Again, this was the second adjustment, so we'll put a little letter B next to it, signaling that these two adjustments go together. That is as far as we'll go for 6-2. Now, of course, with everything else, You added up your trial balance debit column and credit column, and those two should equal. When we add up our adjustments debit and our adjustments credit column, again, those two should equal as well. So that'll be our proof at the end. Good luck with the lesson. If you have questions or issues, please email me, and I hope all is going well.